Hey guys, welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. My name is Robert Lamb, and I am your substitute host for this evening because once again, I've tied up John. John Lasavith is tied up, and he's sitting on the side watching. So he'll have to watch me host.
Are his ribs like all like black and blue?
Oh yeah, I beat him up a little bit beforehand. After I tied him up, put him in the corner, and I'm gonna make him watch me host the show. So he can see you guys on Skype right now. He's like watching it, and he's got like one tear out of his eye, but I'm gonna think of it as a joyful tear that he's happy that I'm hosting.
Did he get a haircut?
Who, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks good. Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it after I tied him up. But anyways, I will be your host for this evening, and as always, I'm joined by Mark Hoffmeyer and John Levengood. How's it going, guys?
You know what,
folks?
Can I tell you something, guys? You know what would be the most boring action scene in the history of cinema?
What's that?
Okay. Two people on jet skis.
Okay.
Right?
Waterworld. Go ahead.
Ocean.
Okay.
One of them has a nail gun.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I hate nail gun action scenes and I hate jet ski action scenes. So I feel like if you combined them, I would fall asleep in the theater.
So you weren't.
This sounds awesome.
You weren't a fan of Waterworld or that final sinking house scene in Casino Royale?
No, because just jet skis, when they're on the ocean and you're being chased, there's not much you can do with them other than just go into like a straight line and do a couple zigzags.
Yeah.
Like
if there's
like
waves, if there's waves, you can.
Yeah, I mean, like, but see, that's not like, you have a great chase like Bullet, or Ronin. You these amazing car chases where you have to twist and turn and duck, dive, dip, dodge, duck. Mm-hmm. But then you have a jet ski going in a straight line.
Right.
Right? And then you have a guy with a nail gun.
Just one guy, or do they both have nail guns?
One guy.
Okay.
Because the other guy's being chased.
Okay.
And
I
like
never jet skis or not. I don't want to be chased by someone with a nail gun.
Jet skis are only cool when they're like from Return of the Jedi and they're on those bikes that like zig through the trees.
Yeah, the speeder bikes.
Like those are like land jet skis. But water jet skis.
So wait a second. Land jet skis are better because you can zigzag through trees. That's what you're saying. So if there's like something in the water that you could go around, you'd be more thrilled.
Well, if you're in like a buoy farm.
Okay, buoy farm.
And like there's just buoys every 10 yards and
just
you're like
growing out there. Yeah, growing out
like,
in the bay.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's good. But, like, also when people wipe out in the water, it's really anticlimactic. They're like, whoa, and then they flip in the water.
And they're not getting hurt because it's water.
Yeah, I mean, like, they'll have a scrape, whatever. Mm. But, like, it's just not entertaining. Like, when I see movies where, like, a motorcyclist is chasing down a car, right? I'm like, that motorcyclist is dead. But when I see a guy chase another guy in a jet ski and that guy wipes out, I'm like, he's bruised.
Unless it's a Jaws movie.
Yeah, well, no, those are banana boats, and I think that's like the worst way to go down. And like, I don't like staple guns either. I think they are, they don't really work like that. They are, nail guns. It's just very.
I remember in James Bond, like they always talked about James Bond kind of like setting up certain certain sports and stuff, whereas. What movie was it where they did the snowboard scene, and snowboarding became like pretty popular after that James Bond movie because he was snowboarding in it. And then also there's I think it was Spy Who Loved Me, where Q comes in with a briefcase and James Bond has to get to this water tower where the bad guy is. So the briefcase, he opens it up and he just sets together a jet ski pretty much, and then takes the jet ski out and just kind of zooms over to the water tower or like this big water base. And they said like jet ski sales actually like started becoming like, they started selling a lot more due to that 1977 classic.
You know what else increased? Sale ads in the newspaper selling jet skis.
Yeah,
about a week later.
Really? That's pretty cool.
It's like, hey, man, we're doing great. You know what I would do if I sold jet skis? I would sell somebody a jet ski, right? Mm-hmm. I'd let them use it for a week and go, I'll buy that back from you for half. And they're like, get it off my hands.
Yeah, because you're not using it too often.
I mean, like, jet skis are only cool if you're in eastbound and down. and you get the irony of it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think a lot of people made a lot of money off jet skis in that deal. And you know what? I've lost respect for James Bond.
Because of that jet ski scene.
Yeah. What's that one in Louisiana with Roger Moore where he's zooming through the bayou?
Live and Let Die.
Oh, sorry.
Live and Let Die.
Yeah, they're zooming over roads. Like, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
They were going over roads on jet skis?
No, in boats, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Let's take a jet ski on land.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Hey, in A View to a Kill, he drove half of a car. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
In the coming months, did the sales for half cars
They skyrocketed. They just boomed. Everybody I want 2 wheels in the front, nothing in the back.
Look, I want a Toyota Camry, but I want you to rip off the back half.
I don't need the back seats. I only have 2 people in my family. That's makes sense.
Yeah, so you know what? Give me half a car. You know?
You probably save on gas, get more mileage.
It better be front wheel drive.
Yeah, I hope so.
Do not give me a jet ski. All right? You know what? Whoever does jet skis, don't sponsor us.
Dude, give me a jet. I will take a jet ski. If you guys were like, hey, I've got a jet ski, maybe I'll give it to those movies, films, and flicks guys. And then you hear Mark like, don't give me a jet ski.
Yeah.
Well, give it to me.
Yeah, give him 2 jet skis, and you'll sell them a week later, and I'll buy them for half off. Then I'll sell them for 25% boost and increase. I'll make money off the deal.
Well,
Mark is inventing an economy over there.
What Mark's really trying to say is that he doesn't want a jet ski unless you also own a buoy farm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, listen, if you got a buoy farm, if you got a gator farm, if you have an inflatable pool noodle farm and like 6 are tied together.
Mm-hmm.
Only one of those 3 things actually grows.
Like I will
the buoys.
I will ride a jet ski through buoys.
But not alligators?
No. And I was watching Spectre, right? And he's driving, he's on the GPS, he's like talking to people, he's shooting missiles, like he's doing all this cool stuff. Like on a jet ski, you can't do any of that. You have to put both hands on the stupid wheel, or not even a wheel, it's just 2 handles. And like then you just gotta like ride. Like you can't have a cell phone.
And James Bond, now that you say like you have to have 2 hands on like the steering column or whatever, that he never rode a bike. He never had like a bicycle chase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why not a bicycle chase for James Bond?
Because like, that'd be so boring.
Yeah, it would be like a jet ski chase.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he's zooming through trees.
Like, I watched that motorcycle chase in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool and all, but I'm like, these cars are going to kill these motorcycles.
Yeah, motorcycles are
like,
dangerous, guys.
Like, if you're a henchman, don't be the motorcycle henchman.
Honestly, just don't be a henchman. I don't know, like, who signs up for that job, but it sucks. Like, it just looks like it sucks.
You know what? Be a jet ski henchman.
Yeah, because at least you're falling off in water.
I just saw the new Mechanic movie, and those henchmen, they get wholesale murdered with their boss watching. Mm-hmm. And if I was getting wholesale murdered like that, and my boss saw it, and my coworkers just like kept rushing into battle, I'd be like, guys, I don't know if he's going to follow through on our packages, on our benefits packages for our families, because he doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, like what's that famous phrase from Kung Pao Into the Fist, where he's like, "You go that way, I'm going home."
I'll go home.
Yeah.
Wait. So you guys were talking about these really elaborate scenes in these Bond movies, right? And as it turns out, I might have seen these Bond movies like in middle school or something 30 years ago almost, and I've totally forgotten them. If I was trying to search for those scenes online and I didn't know they were in a Bond movie, it would probably take an oddly elaborate search to accurately land the movie, like alligators plus jet ski plus swamp.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to
spy.
Well, because alligators show up in a couple of them. Sharks are like in so many James Bond movies. Like, villains just love sharks, so that's always a thing. And then piranhas, sharks with laser beams. You got piranhas. I mean, you have to be like pretty specific in which
Komodo dragons.
Yeah, Komodo dragons, snakes
on jet skis.
Yeah, Komodo dragons on jet skis. That's part of Spectre.
They have jet skis replacing their lower body.
It's a half a jet ski.
Wait,
and a half a Komodo dragon.
It's a Komodo tar.
Listen, I could get on this, but I wouldn't want it to be like an action movie. I just want to see an hour-long clip. Like, all right, so put a GoPro, right, on the back of a jet ski that you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And just let me watch a Komodo dragon steer a wave runner for an hour. Like when Ron Burgundy sat in front of the fire and drank Lagavulin for 45 minutes? Ron Swanson.
Yeah, Ron Swanson, yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I could see that.
Just give me, squirrels on skis.
Yes.
I want Komodo dragons
on jet skis. Jet skis.
So, like, those are really easy searches to accomplish, though, in a search engine. Komodo dragon, jet ski. I found exactly what I wanted.
Do you think you would find it? Do you think you would find that a Komodo dragon on a jet ski?
I'd find it exactly.
Because that would be terrifying if a Komodo dragon flew off a jet ski, because it would just put its little legs back and go straight in the water like a snake and just come at you like a missile.
Like those swimming iguanas in the Galapagos.
Yeah, they would just go, he would hit some air, right? And he would go, yeah! He'd put his little feet back. He'd be like a perfect spear into the water. And then you have a Jaws situation because you're like, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? And you're on a jet ski. You're not going to protect yourself. Like, this isn't a boat, people. Like, you're done.
Although... I think a jet ski. I think you could out maneuver a shark in a jet ski, right?
No, because jet skis are so willy nilly. You hit a weird wave. Well, no, Shark
That's
Night.
True.
If Shark Night,
yeah.
That you know what? Jet skis are so bad you can't avoid sharks.
Yeah, Shark Night. Then that shark just jumped out of the water and grabbed them. Didn't it?
I think it swam underneath him, and then the shark was behind him, swam past the jet ski, then jumped up in the air and ate him. That's how slow jet skis are.
That was a bad. Did you like that movie?
No,
I hated that movie.
But
it was enjoyably bad.
It was more so than the Dolph Lundgren movie I just watched the other day, Shark Lake.
Oh, Shark Lake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that movie's terrible.
That's one of Mark's classic bad movie Tuesdays.
That was a rough one to get through. That. Yeah, that was a rough one.
He's a terrible father in that film.
Yeah.
Aw,
poor him. All right, well, let's move on. What? Sorry.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I guess we should get going now.
Yeah, I mean, we're already 12 minutes in, and we're just talking about James Bond and Komodo dragons. But let's move on. We're gonna go to listener questions, and Mark, you're gonna take that, right?
Yeah, this one's from Will, and this is a big one. And he wrote, "What is your favorite film score?"
All right, I'm gonna go for the steal on this, and I'm not necessarily picking my favorite film score, but I'm picking the least appreciated film score that I happen to love, and it's Bloodsport.
What?
Oh, it's total. When was the last time you saw Bloodsport?
Isn't it? I imagine it's just like Jean-Claude Van Damme slamming pots and pans on stuff.
I'm absolutely not kidding. This movie has a shockingly good score. And the music in it is the guy who did it. He only ever did 2 movie scores, and the other one was lame. But this one was amazing. The opening shots of Bloodsport have this almost mystical, magical music to it, and it comes up a couple times in the movie. And then they wrote original songs for this movie, like the Kumite song, "A Fight to Survive." You know that song? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You guys, anyone who's listening right now who thinks I'm nuts, go to YouTube and look up Stan Bush "Fight to Survive," and it's the coolest song ever. And it's basically music.
Say it again, though.
Fights. But that was awesome. What's that?
No, I said say it again because they cut out a little bit. What are they searching for?
It's Stan Bush "Fight to Survive."
Okay.
And that song is amazing. And then there's this playful chase scene in Bloodsport that's done to the song "Steal the Night." I'm not kidding. "Don't steal the night" with Forrest Whitaker chasing him around the streets of Hong Kong. And I'm serious. You think I'm not just romanticizing this because I like Van Damme movies.
But those are songs, not a score.
No, but the scoring, I also touched though on the opening scoring though. But the soundtrack would be amazing, and the scoring really is good. The training montages, it's mystical. It's not some stupid synth stuff. I'm serious.
I haven't seen. I don't even know when the last time I saw that.
If you do a YouTube search for opening scene Bloodsport, if that happens to work, you'll see when they're scrubbing the floor and setting up the Kumite arena and stuff, and the music to that is spectacular. I'm not kidding.
I've gone cross-eyed.
Well,
I'm not kidding.
The one I thought about was more mainstream. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I love Ennio Morricone. How do you say his name?
Oh yeah,
That it's just so good.
Morricone.
Yeah, Morricone. Yeah, it's just so good. Especially like just the last I just remember them staring at each other. That whole 10-minute stare down at the end of the movie. It's so intense, and all they're doing is just looking at each other. And it's that score.
That film is perfection. So is the score. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And for me, I was gonna. There's like Indiana Jones, dun 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 dun. dun.
Yeah.
There's Halloween. You know, the Doctor No score, Superfly, Requiem for a Dream. Clint Mansell does that amazing score that they later reused in Two Towers. But I think my favorite, and I'm not saying the best, but my favorite is from Last of the Mohicans.
Ooh,
And they actually split up the score because the guy left for creative differences, but the guy who came in actually left a lot of this guy Trevor Jones's score in here. And there's a thing called Promontory, and it is, I mean, that movie is brilliant. And there's a score in there. Oh my god, I got goosebumps. Woo! Yeah, see, that's more exciting than jet skis.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, the Last of the Mohican score, I just think it's beautiful. And there's so many scenes in there where your jaw is dropped, and the music really adds a lot to that. And I had that
beautiful movie.
Yeah,
though.
and I had that movie on VHS, but like the score adds to it. And I think I've seen UFC fighters come out to that song. They had an NFL commercial where they use that. I mean, it's a score that lives on, and I just, I had the cassette. I remember I got the cassette for Christmas because I loved that score so much when I was like, 11, maybe, probably 10, something like that. I just love that so much. So I went and got the film score from Last of the Mohicans. But yeah, that's my favorite. And I listen to that song probably once a week.
Oh my God, wait, can I throw in an extra?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. It's really more of a soundtrack. I was going to say the Birdcage.
The Birdcage.
The music in the Birdcage is great. I'm just saying.
I like that movie, man. Hank Azaria.
But I guess it's not really scoring. It's all songs, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much that whole movie.
Yeah, you can say anything by John Williams though. Like anything.
Oh yeah.
That's just a given.
That dude crushed it.
Yeah.
But
I love what he did with the Phantom Menace and the Darth Maul fight.
Oh,
that
yeah.
song. Korra!
It's so intense. I think that's the only part in any of the prequel movies that I actually get like goosebumps.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then you know what I was listening to today was Goblin for the soundtrack of Suspiria, and it's a good little Italian, I'd say Italian horror classic by Argento, but it's a cool little. If you YouTube Goblin Suspiria opening theme, it's really good. It's a catchy, creepy little thing. So that's definitely
some weird music.
Yeah.
Really weird music.
But yeah, you got to. It's called Promontory. So Promontory. Last of the Mohicans. And like, if you're in an office listening to it, you're just gonna pick up your employee and run around a room. Like you're just gonna be, you're gonna pull the headphones out of your computer, right? And everyone's just gonna be It's gonna be like Lord of the Flies going on in your office if you let everyone listen to this.
I'd be down for that though. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I got Braveheart running through my mind for like soundtracks.
Yeah.
I love the
scores.
I love the song Mel Gibson sang "Freedom," where he's just like "Freedom."
Yeah, that was a good.
Freedom.
That's actually just called the gut ripping anthem.
I'm William Wallace and I'm free. They can't torture me. It's more of a rap. I don't know why. It was in the director's cut.
Yeah, I never knew he was such a good rapper. I knew he was a good ranter, but not a rapper.
Yeah, the part I hate the most is the rant in the rap.
Yeah, it happens though.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like rap rock, but this is rant rock. Rant rap.
A lot of Jewish slurs in his rants, but but that's okay.
It got a little excessive towards the later years.
Yeah.
Like I felt it was unnecessary and Apocalypto because I'm like, wait, what? All right, so oh my goodness. So the next question is from Sean, and he wrote, "What are some truly underappreciated performances?" And he gave me a whole list, from like All About Eve. Oh man, yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot out there.
Yeah, and this was like really big for me too. But I kind of went and I tried to stay away from really big blockbusters, and then I tried to stay away from performances that people complained didn't get nominated for Oscars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's go. Okay, both of mine fit your criteria that you just laid
All right,
out.
so Ryan Reynolds from The Voices.
Okay, hold on. Is that your choice?
Yeah, and Zac Efron from Neighbors.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, I figured you were going to guess one of those.
I didn't guess either, but I like both of those choices a lot. No, I was actually thinking farther back.
All right, let's see. Zac Efron from 13 again.
There you
No,
go.
I mean like way farther back.
Oh, okay.
High School Musical.
Like,
That Zac Efron. That's as far back as you can go, right? Me and
farther-
Orson Welles, Zac Efron.
farther back.
All right, now what do you got, John?
So this is
Orson-
going to sound funny, but Brad Pitt, Meet Joe Black. That movie gets a lot of flack, and I don't necessarily
Wait.
believe.
Did you just say Meet Joe Black gets a lot of flack?
Yeah, Meet Joe Black gets a lot of flack.
That's like a Mel Gibson rap rant.
Yeah. Meet Joe
But
Black.
I'm just saying that movie gets a lot of flack. But even still, like I thought that his role was a really good, more serious depiction of Death Takes a Holiday. I thought he really nailed it, and I think that people just weren't ready for a straight-faced remake of Death Takes a Holiday, and so everyone just looked at it like, "What is this crap?"
Yeah.
It was also like 3 hours long, and I think a lot of people were like ready for like this like romantic, movie, and then they saw like I think the 3 hours and all of that sort of threw everyone off.
But it was a romantic movie.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're like all right, so just think about it from the perspective of who were like the biggest Brad Pitt fans at the time, and like I just think you're going into this movie and you want like this, you just want a shirtless Brad Pitt, and then you're stuck to 3 hours of like.
When did that movie come out? 95? It had to be around then, right?
95 to 98. It's that zone because I went to see it by myself.
Maybe 98. I'll look
Yeah.
it
It
up.
was the same year as John Carpenter's Vampires, I think, because I saw them back to back in the same day.
Yeah, 98. That was 98.
I saw them back to back in the same day.
So
They
you
did it
had
last year.
that was like an Undead Day.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But so I had that, and then my other choice was James Woods for Diggstown.
Interesting.
Okay.
Have either of you guys seen
Wait,
Diggstown?
James
recently?
Woods was in Vampires too.
Yeah. I thought that's where you're going with it.
Vampires wasn't a pick of mine, but yeah, James Woods in Diggstown, man, where he's like a con man who comes and kind of like undermines Bruce Dern, who's running this like small town bayou city or bayou town, and like I thought he was amazing. If my cousin Ryan is listening, he'll be like, he'll practically be like having a seizure in agreement.
He's
Like, he won't be
punching
able to-
somebody in the arm right now.
Like he's like, dude, he's talking about Diggstown.
That guy's like, "What? Get off me!"
No, but Diggstown, man. And this movie's like from, I don't know, 1991 maybe. So a lot of listeners are probably like, what the hell is this? But it's awesome movie in my opinion. Louis Gossett Jr., Heather Graham, James Woods, Bruce Dern. Cool movie.
All right, Robert, what you got?
All right.
Hey, by the way, James Woods in Hercules as well while we're on James Woods.
Just James Woods in
because
general.
He played Hades
In
Oh, yeah.
what?
in Hercules.
Oh, the cartoon.
Yeah.
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 The Disney movie. He played Hades and he was great.
James Woods is good.
No one talks about him.
Yeah. I mean, what do you like when you think James Woods? What's the first role that
I
comes
own-
to mind?
I
Vampire.
don't know. I just feel like I
Videodrome?
own $5 for some reason.
Oh. Well,
For
yeah,
me, I just think of Diggstown. Diggstown is the first thing that comes into my mind when I think of him.
yeah.
James
I think Videodrome, or is it Videodrome?
Oh yeah,
Videodrome.
Scanners.
Maybe Cat's Eye.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Was he in Scanners?
Wait, no, he was in Videodrome.
Videodrome. Yeah. Scanners.
Videodrome was amazing.
Who was
Yeah.
Scanner? That was that one guy. I don't know his name though. All right. Well, I got three. One, I'll go through them pretty quick. There's a movie called Ace in the Hole, and it was Kirk Douglas. And Kirk Douglas in this movie is just like, he's sadistic. He's like an asshole. It's basically just a movie about him being a journalist, and he's trying to get like a good story. And this other guy gets caught in a mine. And Kirk Douglas does whatever he can to keep that guy in the mine so he can keep continuing to report this story. And he's just like, he's kind of an asshole, but he's also trying to be nice to this guy, acting like, hey, we're trying our best to like get you out of here when no one's really trying, and he's just trying to stop everybody from getting the guy out of the mine. And he's
That's
like,
that's 1950s, right?
1951, and it was a Billy Wilder.
You reach back a little farther back than
Really
17 again as well.
Yeah, that one's old Zac Efron.
That's like not even High School Musical. That's like My Parents Were in Preschool Musical.
Yeah. That's great grandparent musicals.
You were right though. He did do a movie with Orson Welles. He was in an Orson Welles movie.
Me and Orson Welles. I saw it.
Directed by Linklater.
It was decent.
Yeah,
I liked it. My other one is Micah Monroe in It Follows. I loved It Follows, and I thought she did a really awesome job in that movie. And then
you think she was underappreciated?
I think so. I don't.
Maybe
no one really
you know what? Come to think about, we talked about her in our podcast, but I guess I don't hear a lot of people talking about her. They just talk about the movie.
Yeah, I've heard everybody they like the movie, but I never. Even when I read the reviews,
the score and the direction, but not her.
Oh,
I think
the soundtrack. Right. Yeah, soundtrack and direction always gets the best. And I remember reading the reviews, and there wasn't enough on just how good I thought she was in the movie. And then my last one is everyone in Zodiac. I thought everyone in Zodiac was good. Mark Ruffalo, Downey Jr., and Gyllenhaal. I thought they were all really great.
Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, Gyllenhaal. They're all great in that movie. It was their A game, and I feel like that movie doesn't get talked about enough.
That's one of those movies I want to own. I just don't feel like I'll ever watch.
I never want to watch it again.
But I love it.
Really? I love it, and I've watched it so many times. I don't know why. It's a long-ass movie, too.
Oh, it's just brilliant.
I remember just thinking the movie was boring.
It was, but I don't know. For some reason, I felt like it was a real raw detective story. They didn't throw in stupid stuff to kind of keep the audience interested. They just went with the real kind of story. They added some stuff. Maybe I need to see it again, because that came out 2002 or no, it was 2007. Yeah.
But I was 26 when that came out. Maybe I was still a little impatient. Maybe I should watch it again.
I love it. I think I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's very it's definitely slow moving, and I've shown it to some other people, and it wasn't enough for them, and I get that. It was really slow. I was surprised how much I liked it, but yeah, it kept me on the edge of my seat, and it's a really slow moving, just detective story. It takes place over years and years to find the Zodiac killer. But I just thought everybody in that movie is just so good, and Downey Jr. disappears halfway through the movie. His part's just kind of done. And it's just kind of weird, and then Mark Ruffalo kind of takes center stage with Gyllenhaal, and I don't know, they all at their A game. Doesn't get talked about enough.
You know what doesn't get talked about enough?
What's that?
Well, actually, no one talks about it because in 1977, a movie came out that was directed by William Friedkin. It was a remake of The Wages of Fear, and it's a movie called Sorcerer, and it's about these 4 gross guys who are kind of in the middle of nowhere jungle. And there's this huge oil fire, and they're tasked to drive these 2 old trucks full of nitroglycerin through the jungles to blow up this big fire that's going on. And you feel when you're watching it that you're getting malaria. But my favorite performance is that no one talks about is Roy Scheider. And dude's been amazing. Jaws, Marathon Man. He was in the one with Gene Hackman.
Yeah, French Connection.
Yeah, French Connection. He's amazing. But in this movie, he just commits. It's he's lying in. He out Leo DiCaprio's Revenant. He outdoes him. He's laying in puddles, and I'm he's gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he's dead, and he just really commits. And it's this amazing film that nobody has watched. Quentin Tarantino is always pumping it, but it's a really great film worth watching. And then I also have, this is really random, but Eddie Murphy from Bowfinger. Because he plays 2 totally different roles, and he really lampoons himself, makes fun of the neuroses of the big A-list star. Then he plays his cousin, and it's just a very he went for it. It's not self-conscious. It's not him doing a bit. Sometimes Eddie Murphy does Eddie Murphy, but this movie was not Eddie Murphy doing Eddie Murphy. This was Eddie Murphy doing Kid. He really was a character in this.
Did you like Bowfinger?
I love Bowfinger.
Do you? I just couldn't get into it. Nah.
Oh, he's so good. And then I also, on here, I had Michael Pena from End of Watch, Colin Farrell from The New World, Terrence Malick's New World, Naomi Watts from I Heart Huckabees, Jessica Chastain from Take Shelter, and then I have Brad Pitt from Fury. Because in that movie Fury, there's this lunch scene in the middle of this big action tank movie where it's just like dudes talking and women talking for 15 minutes. It's just like this really great character piece, and Pitt just nails it. So those are mine.
Nice. Yeah. All right, well,
why was that movie called Sorcerer?
Because the name of the truck was Sorcerer.
Why was the truck named Sorcerer?
Because they were needing magic out of it to get through the mountains.
I don't know why that movie's called Sorcerer.
That's weird.
That's a weird
I've never
name.
seen it.
I think that might have turned a lot of people off, too, because they're like, Sorcerer? What, is Sean Connery in it?
Yeah.
Like, is there a wizard?
There can only be one. There can only be one.
Yeah, Zardoz. So, like, no, but it's brilliant. And I think The Wages of Fear is actually a pretty great title, but they went ahead and did Sorcerer instead. Friedkin decided on that. But that guy is... I think Friedkin's one of the best directors of just making you feel gritty.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, well, that does it for the listener questions right now. We're going to go on to... Well, John, you take it. I don't know. I think I know where we're going, but John, you go.
No problem. So it's my topic this week, and Mark actually kind of pinch hit this for me. He kind of suggested this, and it was exactly the kind of thing that I love talking about. And Don't Breathe just came out in theaters, or at least at the time that we recorded this. And the director, who I recently, much to my confusion, found out that his name was pronounced Fede. Fede Alvarez. I kept thinking it was just Fed, and you don't pronounce the other E. But Fede Alvarez, his only other feature-length film that he's done was Evil Dead. Maybe a documentary, but
he did a short film called Panic Attack that got him on the radar for Evil Dead.
Sure. So he's only done those two, and so we're going to talk a little bit about Evil Dead and get into his first feature, and then a little later we'll talk really, really in depth about Don't Breathe. Evil Dead remake is from 2013. It's basically a very creative restructuring of the original Evil Dead, crossed with Evil Dead 2 as one movie being remade and chopped up in a food processor and reorganized in what I think is a pretty interesting way. But again, it's a 2013 movie. If you haven't seen the movie, please understand we have no conscience about spoiling any movie that we discuss in this podcast. But so Evil Dead, the originals, cult classics, right? Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 just as much as the original Evil Dead. Army of Darkness has a big following. And then this remake came out, and I was one of the people who was honestly thrilled with it. I know a lot of people were pissed at it, and then there were a lot of middle-of-the-roaders. I feel like, Mark, you were maybe in the middle of the road.
I think...
You weren't pissed at it, though. It's not like you were upset at it.
I felt it was like a shiny drone, pilotless drone. I felt it was sleek. It got the job done. Fede Alvarez just did an interview with AV Club, and it's on the AV Club. It's really great. It's about him like reversing horror. I forget, but he talked about it, and he said that it's an experience. Evil Dead is an experience, and he kind of talked about how he had absolute freedom to make it, but he still felt constrained by it being an Evil Dead film. And it was kind of weird. So Evil Dead wanted to be its own thing, and it wisely went another route. But then it also... roots. We're talking about those. Evil trees. But then it also felt just like another remake. It just felt like really well-lit CW characters, with the exception of Jane Levy, being murdered one by one in gruesome ways. And I think for gorehounds, the practical gore was good. The raining blood was good. I think if people want to look for technical skill in that area, it definitely brought the pain. But for me, it just didn't have really character to it. So I watched it again, actually, just think, because I wrote about it years ago, and then I wrote a post about how The Evil Dead is, statistically speaking, the greatest franchise. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should watch it again. And I did, and I still have the same feelings about it.
What's interesting is, so I saw this only 4 times now. I saw it in the theaters. right when it came out on Blu-ray, I got it, and right when it came out on HBO, I saw it. So those two are back to back. And then for the last couple of years, I didn't see it until about a week ago, or not even a week ago. And when I watched it for the fourth time, I was on my treadmill, which offers a noise distraction, right? So you have to plow the volume up on the TV. And my bedroom was well lit. It's a big TV, but still, like, I had the lights on, and I'm on a treadmill walking. And there were still scenes in this movie that jarred me a little. And, like, nothing ever jars me. I mean, this movie managed to affect me. This movie made me flinch before walking into a dark bathroom and turning on a light, even though I know there's nothing there. So, I mean, to me, it was very effective just in that respect. But otherwise, I really love this movie. I feel like it had a little more heart than you're saying, but I do agree. Like, a bunch of the characters, Jane Levy's character's boyfriend was really just weak.
Wait, she had a boyfriend?
Or no, not her boyfriend, her brother.
Yeah, and then but a lot of the movie focuses on him, and then he, like, I don't know if you saw Arrested Development. No one knew.
But he's the weakest character.
Yeah, and no one knew the name of this girl in Arrested Development, so everyone called her Egg. And like his girlfriend, Shiloh Hernandez's girlfriend in this, the blonde, I don't even.
Yeah, she had nothing.
No,
she had nothing in the whole movie.
Yeah,
wait, hold on. She had nothing in terms of character development, but she handled her gory, violent scenes later very well.
Right, the cutting off the arm and stuff. But that wasn't. Yeah, I mean, before that, I didn't know her name. I didn't know even like
for laying down the foundation to get us to care. She offered zero as well. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And like, this is gonna sound weird, but when I think about grueling experiences, I think about Saving Private Ryan, because I love every single one of those characters that were in that film.
Right.
No, but like when Giovanni Ribisi gets killed, the day after he talks about, like, you know, not talking to his mom when she would sit there and looking at him. And when that one guy puts the knife in Adam Goldberg and he's shushing him. Mm-hmm. When the characters...
Oh, that was heavy.
Yeah, yeah, like, Jesus. That's grueling to me. Like, I was tense, I was worn out. But with this one, like, I think it wanted to have some fun with it. Like, the arm dropped off at like a cheeky moment, but it also wasn't grueling for me because it just felt like, hey guys, look at this.
Do you think it didn't find that happy medium between how campy the original one was and how dark and twisted, like, they were trying to go with it?
No,
like,
because much like the Ghostbusters thing, they had to be like faithful to the original, and then they also had to kind of bring something new to it. Right. Like, I didn't really understand, like, so I don't know. But I also didn't understand the drug problem that Jane Levy has, because it really doesn't pay off in any way whatsoever, because, you know, it's not her with a problem with, like, there's no, what's the word, schizophrenia. There's no withdrawals. Like, there actually is this woman who can lift a car like Dolph Lundgren, and when she grabs your leg, it burns you like an abomination.
It was really just to get them there, right? Like, that was the only purpose to really having her.
No. Hold on. I would actually say that was one of the few cases where a movie gave you a reason for them to stay.
Wait, but there's blood on the floor under, like, so they that mat moved, right? And then they found blood on the floor, and then there was like, oh, somebody must have broken in. And like, why they buy this cabin? And like,
no, it was a family cabin. This just happened in their absence.
So like, if I showed up at my family cabin, there's blood on the floor, I'm gonna leave. I'll be like, listen, I know you have a drug problem, you know, but we shouldn't get this sorted. I mean, I've never had to deal with this, obviously, but I don't know. I'd like to think that if I saw blood in the house, I'd leave.
But then when they tried to leave, what was it? The roads were flooded or something?
Well, then they were flooded. No, but before that, though, they see the blood and everything. But before that, they had a long discussion with the brother. It was like, wait, hold on. You don't understand. We've done this before after she last OD'd. And he's like, she OD'd? It's like, she was like medically dead and she got revived and she OD'd multiple times. If we don't do it this time, we believe that she'll die. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a great reason, but it's not a terrible reason, and they gave a reason. And a lot of horror movies don't give you really any reason for them to stay.
I just don't think you needed this. Maybe it could have been like the brother who had it. Like, I don't think you have to saddle the hero female with like a drug problem to get her through. Like in Gravity, Sandra Bullock had to like worry about her family, and other, like, in a lot of male-oriented action films, the dude just sort of blows stuff up. So, like, I don't know. I didn't think that had a payoff to it, but I don't know. Like, I thought the gore was good.
I thought it was like that's the whole that was the whole thing with Evil Dead. It was stylistically like just visually pleasing.
Yeah,
it was good. Like all the practical effects and stuff like that was awesome. And I thought that was
visually
handled well.
pleasing to people who like things that are generally visually unpleasing.
Yeah, exactly. If you like that kind of thing, you're gonna like this type of movie. Like that, you're gonna like Evil Dead.
I will say that he learned a lot from this movie to his next movie, because in the beginning of this film, like I hate the first like 15 minutes. Not hate. I really dislike the first 15 minutes of this film because there's dialogue like "I'm your big brother," or like "Oh, give me a hug because I haven't seen you since middle school."
Let me explain this.
And you're like, no, don't do this, guys. Don't do it. Like, well, I haven't seen you in 18.36 years. You know, like, oh, are you the doctor? Oh, no, I'm just I'm just a nurse. Yeah. You know, like, it's like,
it's that cringeworthy dialogue.
And also, the camera work from this one to the next one got a lot better. And we'll explain it during the Don't Breathe. But and also the lighting as well. The lighting got much better from the two films. But I don't know. I thought the very beginning of it was incredibly effective with the father and the daughter. I really was into that. That really hit me hard. The beginning. Remember the daughter? Like they capture her, tie her up, and it's the father, and he's like, "Baby," like she's like, you know, your mom. She's like, "What happened to mom?" He's like, "Baby, you killed her." Like that. Like. Really was grueling and was very effective. And I think with that minute, you felt more for those two people than you did. Like you felt a lot in the evilness of that girl and a lot for the father. So like that moment was actually probably like my favorite. I'd like to see the prequel of that. Oh, go ahead.
You've got me thinking a lot about the characters because I actually walked into this conversation thinking I really like the characters when really when we start talking about it, it has me reflecting like, I guess I really just like Jane Levy. And but there was something in the beginning that I thought they set up very well, and it was very subtle, and they didn't explain it at all. Do you remember when he brings the dog and she sees and responds to the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember the dog's name?
Grandpa.
And they don't talk much about their parents, do they?
Yeah, because the mom was crazy. They said the mom was suffering with mental instability, and then the dad they never talked about. So maybe they grew up with their grandparents.
But who probably isn't around because the dog's name is Grandpa. I mean, this is only stuff that I thought about, like, you know, when I paused it and went to the bathroom and got a drink or something, you know, not while I was watching actively, but like that's one of those things that I really kind of appreciate. And even if I'm misinterpreting it, there's something there. And she was very responsive to it. And then that dog in this movie, think of dogs in horror movies. They're sentinels. They stand by and protect you. They bark when no one else knows something is wrong. They go run to investigate and get martyred so that someone knows that something is happening, or they go protect them and give them a warning or something. The dog did none of those things. This dog's entire presence was to parallel Jane Levy's character's, Mia, is that her name? But her character's kind of emotional state and her humanity, like her grip on her soul. Because right before she put herself in the shower and kind of lost the last of her humanity was when they discover the dog taking its last breaths. The dog has no role in this movie other than to parallel her state.
I feel like that's like jogging pants, and it's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, you say that, but someone put a dog in a movie and then had a dog do none of the things that dogs ever do in any movies. Think about that. That's very deliberate, putting a dog in a movie, and then it doesn't do any of the staple things that you would have a dog do. Can you give me an example of another movie that uses a dog so subtly? I mean, you're on the spot.
Oh, yeah,
so
let me rattle off 10.
I realize that as I say it. But like,
you're getting angry over it. You should see John on the camera right now. He stood up straight in his chair.
I did not.
Like his hair went into a mohawk.
Yeah,
I don't even have.
And he's like, he just took off his shirt.
The camera's getting all staticky.
No, I'm serious though. I mean, yeah, obviously there's no way to think of that. Maybe if I thought about it, I could think of one. But I even jot down notes about dogs in horror and their roles in horror. And like this dog in horror really stuck out to me. And it's it's a subtle thing that I didn't notice until I was pausing. I didn't notice it kind of while I was watching. But I thought that was really cool. It's one of those, we'll call it like the meta film fans detail, if I'm correct. I'm sorry. So I just totally derailed you from something, though.
No, it's all good. I was just going to talk about something that really stood out to me. And it's really deep, and I've been thinking about it a lot. And there's a scene where the red shirt girl gets her arm. She chops off her arm, right? And that guy tapes it very casually with duct tape.
What are you talking about?
Like, John, all right, so Robert, right?
Yeah.
You get your arm chopped off.
Yep.
I'm not going to be like, yeah, so you'll be all right, like slowly putting duct tape around your arm. You're going to be like, go, 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 go,
Oh, yeah,
go.
you'll be
Like,
screaming.
he's
You'll
just
be
kinda
screaming.
Like, yeah, he's like, and it's really loose around her arm. He's just kind of like, I think the most casual duct taping ever is featured in this movie.
I gotta agree. Because again, I just saw this like several days ago, and when he was taking care of her, it did just seem totally like I was in a fever dream. Like this, there's no way even a horror movie this goes down this way.
Like I feel like, in Ace Ventura when he gets speared in the leg and he freaks out. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what everybody would do.
Oh, you have to. Like, you're not. Oh man, I couldn't imagine that shit happening to me.
Yeah, and they're just casually duct taping. And then the one line I do like in it is when Lou Taylor Pucci, who gets his butt kicked in the film, watch the movie Spring. It's episode something, Creep in Italy, and but he has a line. He's like, "I don't want to be the devil's bitch." Like I thought that was a good line. He didn't want to be like some soul that's taken by them. I thought that was kind of neat. That showed some personality.
He's the one who read the book, right?
Yes.
He's the one who opened
so
it.
there's a book that has barbed wire around it.
Yeah.
And I watched it again to make sure. He's not possessed when he cuts the barbed wire off of that book.
Well, no, he heard a whisper before he did.
Because later on, he's like, "Hey, man, I read from the book. I probably shouldn't have done it." Like, he was very, like, lucid about it.
But but before he cut open that barbed wire, there were whispers.
Hey, John, send me $200.
Exactly. And then I just I'm not even thinking. I'm just putting two crisp $100 bills into my Zombie
Computer.
Diaries envelope. Was that the movie Zombie Diaries? Or
Oh, gosh.
or was it Diary of the Dead? Am I missing?
Diary of the Dead.
Oh, Diary of the Dead. Oh god, I hated that movie.
Mark did a great long impression of that in our Romero pod, like episode 15. So.
We're running away from zombies.
But no, it was very subtle, but it was just that it was like a 2-second whisper moment when he had it. But of course, we weren't given anything to explain why he took this thing that was also wrapped in a trash bag. Remember when he saw it next to the two shotgun shell casings, and he was just like, "Oh my god!" And then for some reason, after being scared of the mere sight of it in the basement, he brought it up to examine it in his bedroom.
And like, this is a tiny cabin, and there's fight scenes that last for like 30 seconds, 2 minutes, right? And then people run in. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's a 1-room cabin, 2-room cabin.
Yeah, you take one step, you should be in the room.
Yeah, so like, Robert, you're screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I wonder what that fool's doing.
Could he be in the medicine cabinet?
Yeah.
I'll go check.
Well, if I'm in the bathroom, you're gonna like, you're gonna take your time and then kind of like tap on the door. Hey, you all right in there?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I'm gonna have like a dream catcher moment where there's like an alien in my toilet, and you're gonna take your time.
Yep, poop monster.
Yep.
Well, hold on now. So these guys, like, I'm having fun making fun of aspects of this movie, which again I really did like. I thought this was it by 2013. I thought this was like one of the solid horror remakes that we had gotten to see in our lifetime. Plenty of people can disagree with me. That's fine. I get it. Opinions are like
I think
assholes.
it's better than most of the horror remakes.
But
Man, you're being very passive aggressive with this.
how is that passive aggressive? I was pretty upfront.
No, horror remakes are like asshole. I'm joking, John.
No, I said opinions are like assholes.
You should see John again. He's sitting up straight in his chair. He's got a mohawk.
Or something.
Yeah, he just ripped the head off a doll, and now he's a 6,000-year-old witch.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened? Fede?
Yeah, Fede Alvarez.
Okay, Fede went into this, and he had a little backing by Sam Raimi as a producer, and I'm sure that he actually was a very involved producer, at least, in terms of having drinks and discussing things way beforehand. But they had to go into this knowing they were going to get flack. Like, even though Sam Raimi's like, my name's on it and this is Evil Dead, they're going to love it. But I think that they both really knew this was touchy going into it.
But do you think that's
still went into it?
But is that from like the cult following? I don't know if like regular
yeah.
people seeing it are going to really care that much.
Yeah, because I think it's got to be from the cult, because I think the average film fan doesn't really know much about these films.
Or even if they do, not enough to like have it tamper with how they're going to feel about the movie.
And Fede Alvarez said in the interview that the number one thing he's happy about with this movie is that he survived it.
Okay, that's good.
Like, he's like, it was tough, man.
You know, I haven't seen it yet, Mark. Maybe you have, but I'm probably going to see it this coming weekend. Was one of the special features on the Blu-ray for Evil Dead was, I don't remember what it was entitled, but the feature, but it was like the grueling difficulty of filming the Evil Dead.
Was it
like,
really
this
that bad?
movie was evidently very problematic.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. The practice, because you have to. It's a nightmare, and it had a decent budget, but when you think about the effects and blood, okay, this is his first film, so his short could have been great. But he has to stretch a cult classic out. He has to hit all the beats that people love. There's still like the gross tree rape. There's still like, you'll burn in hell. He has to hit all the familiar beats while telling a new story. And also he had to go crazy practical. He needed to make an experience. They were advertising this as like a grueling experience. And I don't care who you are. You do your first, 140 minute movie, it's going to be tough. And like the locations were tough. I mean, there was a lot of studio work inside the cabin, but being out those woods isn't easy. They had to put the actors through a lot, probably a lot of night shoots. So, I mean, this was a stressful thing to do.
And Jane Levy went through a lot. Like, we probably punctuated across the history of our podcast. We brought up Alison Lohman and Drag Me to Hell several times, and like actresses in Poltergeist, Jo Beth Williams, like actresses who have just really endured a lot for their horror movies. And Jane Levy seems to have done that in this. She just gets pummeled around, and sure, whatever, stunt doubles and all, but I think that these actors were walking away from the filming days with bruises from time to time.
And the practical makeup too. And I mean, there's a lot of crawling, there's a lot of guck. Like, let's say you have to reset a shot. That's going to take an hour to clean up and reset. So, I mean, yeah, and then she got her butt kicked constantly. She was probably exhausted by the end of it because she had to put a lot into it. But she worked with him again in Don't Breathe, so she must have enjoyed it.
Yeah, it couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah, but, I mean, if it made $90 million.
On what was the budget?
I can pull that up right now. I think 27.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say 40. Why did I think that?
Yeah,
I didn't look anything up though.
Yeah, and so it made good money. It was a success. I think it might be fresh, maybe on Rotten Tomatoes.
It had a 60%.
Yeah, it made more money than its predecessors, and only like one remake, 21st century remake has done that, and that was Journey 2. So it did well. I think it's right now it's looked at very positively from the horror community, and I think it probably is one of the best remakes. I like talking about it more than I like watching it.
I did enjoy watching it, but I also, maybe I just like you, Mark. I just like talking about it too.
Yeah. So, you're passionate about it, dude. I love it.
Well, no, I've also been writing a new article about it that I've been thinking about it an awful lot in the last week. But so I'm curious about how you guys feel about it. So, if you take all the iconic moments and lines of Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, famous quotes, the sawing off of the hand, the interment, the tree rape scene, all these things that happen in the first two movies that were kind of using Ash, Bruce Campbell, as the focal point. And this, even though Jane gets a little bias, it's kind of divided like Bruce Campbell's famous lines are divided among three characters. The things that happen to him are shared. Both Jane Levy and the other girl lose a limb, and both of them lose them under circumstances that overlap the original movie. They utilize the cabin in a similar way, but they don't ape it, if you know what I mean. Like, what'd you think of the way that they kind of chopped up and reformed those things? Now, I actually liked it. But what were your feelings about that?
It had a $17 million budget. And then for me...
17?
Yeah. And so, which is a nightmare because it's a shortened production schedule then. So the day's probably gotten about 16 hours because you don't have the luxury to shoot that long. But for me, I don't like when remakes hit the familiar beats. I don't
mind when they play ode to it, like when they just kind of show it. I'm okay with like kind of how the Evil Dead did it, but I don't like the familiar. Like it wasn't like so familiar that it was like over the top and just like overdone and kind of shoving it down your throat. It was just throw them in where they could. That's why they kind of split it up among the cast, because I don't think any one person was really like the Ash character. Like there wasn't that one person.
If they tried to make one character live up to Ash,
it just wouldn't work.
The death of the film.
Yeah. They were going their own route, which was fine.
I mean, because Ash becomes just a total dickhead. You know?
So would it be fair to say that this movie was more Star Wars Episode 8 to 4 than it was Jurassic World to Jurassic Park?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that works.
It was reliving some of the high points in a way that obviously couldn't quite live up to the original we love so much, as opposed to a blatant replaying.
And for a first-time director on a $17 million budget, I think he learned a lot from this movie, and Don't Breathe is a great result. So, I mean, if this is a movie that he had to make Don't Breathe, then I'm all for it. And I think the best reference is an Army of Darkness reference where the brother, I don't know his name, he gets thrown into the water by the demon. It's an Army of Darkness reference from when he gets thrown in that pit.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Was there a line with that?
No, it's just like a really subtle thing that like him flying into the water like the witches and other people did in Army of Darkness. That was my favorite.
That kind of like flat, like spread eagle, like
like that's in like in Ghostbusters when they had the Harold Ramis bust. Like that was like my favorite reference to Ghostbusters. Like I thought that was classy, and I thought this one fit the script and didn't hinder it at all. So I like it.
All right. Well, you guys want to say anything else before we move on?
I hate jet skis.
That's a good segue. Let's take a break and really discuss jet ski. I don't think we went into depth enough on the whole jet ski topic of conversation.
I need depth on a jet ski.
That's true. That's more of a surface vehicle, huh? Anyways, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll get into the second half of this episode.
Robert.
Mm-hmm.
John.
Yes.
Complete this sequence.
Mm-hmm.
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
What are we doing?
Counting.
Counting what?
Down.
Counting down what? Everything?
Everything and anything.
Anything and everything?
That's right. The three of us, we count down from 5 down to 1. Top 5, everything and anything that you can think of. You want to know the top 5 shittiest bands? You want to know the top 5 movies? Listen, Shark Dropper Studios, sharkdropper.com.
All right, and we're back with Movies, Films, and Flicks. Over that break, Mark actually finally admitted that he actually loves jet skis, and he didn't want to say it. He didn't want to say it over, live on the air. But it's you know what? Just admit it. You love jet skis, and you wish there were more movies with jet ski action. Which movies did you say should have more jet skis? I think Terminator.
Felt like the one thing that needed more was Speed 2.
Speed 2. I believe it's the whole title is Cruise Control, right?
Yeah, and I think at the end there's jet skis, and Sandy Bullock is rocking a jet ski, and she's on a wide open ocean with no buoys, and it was the most exciting thing I think I've ever seen in my life. I
really thought that Waterworld could use more jet skis and maybe some more water.
You know, for me, I felt there was enough water, and I felt I would never ride a stand-up jet ski or wave runner. When how do you, those guys are like the dudes who ride, the war boys who ride motorcycles in Mad Max. Like, you can't hold much gas in those. And if you run out of gas on a jet ski, and it's a water world, you're going to be that big fish dinner, you know? But, you know, I think that adds a lot of nuance to life, and it adds danger. And I really respect jet skis for what they've contributed. You know, they
for their sacrifices.
They helped get Ronald Reagan elected. You know, they won us World War II. And, you know, I think we did a trade embargo with Canada, jet skis, maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we really won out on it.
Take it on the go. That was the tagline. Take it on the go.
Yeah. So I think take it on the go. Jet ski.
yeah, take it on. Yeah.
In the beginning of the pod, we talked a lot about jet skis, and I kept
almost too much. But go ahead.
There's no such thing.
Right. Sorry.
But so I was wondering, like, what you would search for to find some of these obscure scenes if you didn't know it was a Bond movie and you couldn't type in spy or James Bond. And so I was looking at some of my notes for like some of my favorite search engine terms that led people to our websites. And here's one that I really liked: movie scene barbecued by monsters.
Interesting.
What?
So what do you think people were looking for when they typed movie scene barbecued by monsters? I thought of that. I think it was the second Hobbit movie where they're on the rotisserie, and then the Seven Voyage of Sinbad where the giant Cyclops was rotisserieing some of Sinbad's men. But it's like those are the only two I can even think of. I think and Jack the Giant Killer, which, you know, like had Ewan McGregor and his fancy hair. But like, what else could people have possibly been searching? They must have been looking for one of those three movies, right? Like they must have.
Yeah,
I would think so.
I mean, but you've written a bunch of horror movies, so I mean, I'm sure there's been some barbecuing by monsters.
But barbecued is not a word that I don't think I use. Like, did you write about the second Hobbit movie?
That's the first one.
The first one. Did you write about that?
Yeah.
That must be what people were going for then, because sometimes I look at these search terms and our stats website page, and I just wonder how these search terms bring people to our website.
Yeah, there's been some pretty wild ones. We've learned a lot about humanity. You know how you learn a lot about humanity, Robert, is look at the search terms on if you have a movie website.
Like when we were talking about Rene Russo's butt, as respectfully as we could, it was just a search term.
Right.
Like, we've seen some interesting search terms consistently come to our page. And I just got to sit back like, did I write this?
Yep. Was that me?
It shows you. It really shows you who's out there on the internet.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to meet the person who's searching for a movie scene barbecued by monsters sober. Maybe drunk, I'd enjoy meeting him, or her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get to the third question. Mark, you got that one?
Yeah. So if Stranger Things, this one's from Al, by the way. If Stranger Things took place in the 1990s, what movies would be used for inspiration? So Stranger Things is getting a second season. And so Stranger Things took place in the 80s, and a lot of 80s, maybe late 70s movies were referenced. So if it took place in the 90s, what movies do you think they would reference? I think T2.
Okay. Oh, God, I didn't even go into the sci-fi realm.
Yeah, shit. Terminator 2. I think Sandlot.
That was one of mine.
Do you think there would be like an in the air bicep flexing handshake somewhere?
Wait, but that's 87, right? From Predator?
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong decade. I hate life.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I have Sandlot. I put Sandlot.
Yes, Jurassic Park.
I put Sixth Sense.
Oh, yeah, that's 99.
99. It made it.
Oh, yeah. So
and then,
it would be like...
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and the most important one, I put Boys in the Hood.
Oh, yeah, Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
Well, I went like pure horror. I went Scream, Candyman, Blair Witch, Silence of the Lambs, and The Craft. Well, probably not The Craft. I just like thinking about The Craft. But like Silence of the Lambs, Candyman, Scream, I feel like those would get some play.
Well, because they drew from like E.T., you know? From like Candyman would get play in the Stranger Things?
Well, they wouldn't have drawn from E.T., though, if it took place in the 90s.
No, but in the 80s. But see, there wasn't all horror movies in the 80s. Like they did Stand By Me.
Yeah, it was a lot of like kid-type movies. That's why I went Sandlot, but then I also picked... Well, Jurassic Park has kids, too. I mean...
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, a lot of baseball stuff.
Angels in the outfield.
Yeah,
Little Big League.
You don't think they'd go for some Scream?
Ed.
8 Men Out. That's 80s.
Major League 2.
Cruise Control.
Oh God.
There's a lot of kids baseball movies, man.
Was Major League 2 a kids baseball movie?
Major League 1 was.
Yeah.
Major League 1 was rated R.
Was it?
Yeah, Major League 1 was a hard R.
Just a bit outside.
There were sex scenes and F-bombs all over the place.
Oh no, I'm thinking Jesus Christ. Yeah, Major League. I was thinking Major Pain. I don't know why.
Oh,
fucking.
oh my God!
Completely.
What about Pauly Shore movies like Son-in-Law and In the Army Now?
Biodome.
Oh God!
So there'd be a scene in Stranger Things in the 90s where they just smell each other's farts.
Encino Man.
Oh yeah.
What was that? Jack? Wasn't they smelled farts in
was
that
Robin
movie too?
Williams?
Yeah, Jack.
Wild Things.
There's a threesome in it.
See, I was picking that R-rated stuff inadvertently. I was just thinking of horror movies because of the Poltergeist and the Thing stuff going on, and but I wasn't thinking about. Yeah, I didn't realize that you're right, guys. That they were looking mostly at PG and PG-13 stuff.
Sandlot, totally.
Yeah, that was like my main one was Sandlot.
That dog was legendary.
Oh yeah.
You know what's cool is that if you had a dog in the 90s iteration of Stranger Things, it could mix the dog from was Stand By Me from
80s.
Yeah,
80s. But it's like you have the dog Chopper Sick Balls from the Stand By Me, and then you have that Hercules from the Sandlot.
I thought you can go with Air Bud.
Oh no.
So the dog can play basketball.
That's the only dog I want euthanized.
I want
the
a
nicest
monkey
one.
pitcher.
Oh, a monkey pitcher like Ed.
Yep.
I just want Matt LeBlanc to star in a better movie.
Yeah. He had a bad run there. I'm a
He's still
LeBlanc
on
tonight,
it.
you know?
Well, besides
I like this show that he had. I like Joey.
episodes.
I have it.
Joey or episodes?
Joey. I've never seen episodes. What's that?
That's good.
It's a show. I don't know. It was on Showtime. I never watched it. I just heard it was decent.
He won a Golden Globe.
Did he? On purpose?
Yeah, for Ed.
Oh, okay.
Steve Harvey read out the announcements.
It was a mistake. Definitely a mistake.
I think we got it. Steve Harvey was the answer to the question.
Steve Harvey.
Sweet. That's a solid. Steve Harvey messed up. All right, well, let's get to the second movie that we're going to talk about, and that is which one, John?
Don't Breathe.
Oh, snap.
Fede Alvarez's second movie.
It just came out.
Yeah, it just came out. We've all seen it. And, when I saw the trailer for this movie, the first trailer, like the very first trailer that was out, because the second one kind of gave you a little hint of a little more that was going on. But the first trailer, all I know is that these youngsters, these like maybe 20-somethings, are going to go break into this blind guy's house because he evidently has a bunch of money stashed in the house. And then just things are going to go wrong, right? Because the blind man is Stephen Lang, who's cut for a dude in his 50s, right? That guy's in great shape. And he's a war veteran in it, right? And that's what we go in knowing. And I was excited to see it simply because of Stephen Lang. I didn't even recognize it was Jane Levy in the head role. But like at the same time, I was excited to see it for Stephen Lang. I really just thought this movie would suck. I did not know who the director was, by the way, when I first saw the trailer. I just thought the movie would suck.
Yeah, I mean,
what were your guys' impressions?
Well, I hate movies with "don't" in the beginning because I hate movies telling me what to do.
I knew you were going to say that.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Don't be a menace to South Central way drinking your juice in the hood. You're like, you know what, Hollywood? Don't tell me how to live my life.
Don't look back.
You know?
Sorry.
Yeah, don't look back. Don't look. Like, you know what? I'm a grown man.
Yeah, I'll do what I want. Now give me 2 tickets, please.
You know what? Wait, reverse psychology.
Mark prefers like conditional titles, like When a Stranger Calls. He's like, I just won't pick up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what? Well, maybe they do sometimes. Like, that's not a terrible thing.
It's like, I remember what you did last summer. You mean when I drank that 12-pack and we had that rage in time? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like, and when people are like Saving Private Ryan, I go, why? It's just, you know what? Like, just be like, just name it movie. And I'll go watch it.
I mean, I agree with John. Like, I watched the trailer for it, and it was just a very kind of bland. It didn't like do anything for me. I was just like, okay. Like, it just looked like another run-of-the-mill horror movie. I figured there might be some twists and turns, but it didn't look like anything special. And then I found out it was directed by the guy who did Evil Dead, and I was like, oh, maybe like stylistically it'll look, pretty awesome. Like, it'll be put together well. I didn't know what else to expect, and then it started getting like really good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. And I'm a sucker for good reviews, so I was like, all right, maybe I'll check this one out.
Yeah, and it is very well made. And so, I was pretty excited about it because I read the first things I read about it were like the reviews, like you said, from some trusted websites like AV Club, Collider. They were really raving about it, and they're critics I respect. And so, I had some hype about it. I definitely wanted to watch it. And I think I was sold in the first couple minutes because the opening shots of Detroit are incredibly simple and just brilliant. So the movie takes place in Detroit. It's more of like a ghost town. And there's just these really wide shots that some of them are static. Just that means the camera's in one place, wide angle lens, just showing the desolation, or how there's just not many people, in Detroit. There's a lot of abandoned homes, and so immediately you have this really great sense of location, and like. I think horror movies need that. And, we've talked about this in the past with like Alien, some of the Hitchcock films, everything like that. They do a great job of setting up the location. And then once they got to the house, I guess I'm jumping ahead, but the camera work inside the house, right now in my head, I'm thinking about everything and where the house was. And I can kind of map out the house in my head. And I thought that was the brilliant kind of James Wan-esque strategy of familiarizing you with the home. Like the Evil Dead remake, I don't even remember that cabin. And that's like a one-room cabin. But I remember this house and the layout. So I thought that did a really great job. And like the craftsmanship was really there in this film.
So, I got to agree with you. Although I do remember the Evil Dead cabin very well. Maybe that's my fanfare, though, of the franchise kind of heightening things for me. But this one, all your words like resonate very powerfully. And again, whether or not people agree with all the things that I think, like I thought that they kind of gave a reason to stay in the cabin in Evil Dead. And this, I feel like they gave a good reason for his home to be so remote, which is important, right? Because people always say, oh, why a cabin in the woods? It's so cliche. Well, this was our war veteran. He's lived there forever and the town fell apart around him, presumably. But he doesn't move to an area where there are people because he is blind. His home is what he's familiar with. In the movie, he does a great job being blind. Actually, super convincing. It was almost animalistic how alien his movements looked to me as someone who isn't familiar with blind people. And so, like, why would he ever move to be around society when he doesn't interact well with them anyway? Maybe he's a shut-in because he's a veteran and he lost his daughter. Maybe it's just because he's blind and he doesn't want to find and learn a new place. But I believed him being there. If he could see, it would make it a lot harder for me to believe that he stayed there.
And I like what the director had this to say about the house. A lot of times you have these movies where there's a nice neighborhood in the one crappy house. But this
at the
one,
end of the street.
Yeah, so like this one is a bunch of really dilapidated homes and one really nice one.
Yeah, because they said all the other ones were abandoned. All the other ones were abandoned, right?
Yeah, and like I just thought that was kind of like an interesting thing, and I don't know. I kind of like what he had to say about this. He's like, we were really trying to find subtlety. I think it's just a reaction to Evil Dead where nothing was subtle. That's what the director said.
Right.
And then, he was talking about this movie in regards to Evil Dead. And he's like, I think people reacted to the fact that we use so much blood in Evil Dead. The blood takes over in the movie. The character and story kind of disappear in the gallons of blood. I wanted to do something where the story and the character will have more impact, particularly with the protagonist. And I don't know. I guess what this movie's about is three thieves are looking for a big score so they can get out of Detroit, and they end up in the wrong house.
The hands down wrong house.
But like, it just played out. Like some of the moves that these kids did were really smart. With like these kids, you know, they filmed the house for like a few days beforehand to scope it out. They he did that weird bomb that was supposed to knock the guy out.
And the dog, they knocked out the dog.
Yeah, like these kids were smart. Like
Why didn't that bomb knock out the guy though?
I think that so I was thinking about that, and I even was searching around, and I found another podcast that was actually chatting about it. Like that might have been something that got messed up on the cutting room floor.
Okay.
Because we never see it explained. He suddenly just puts this together, right? And the only way we know what it is because a gas comes out, and then it doesn't work, and that's never addressed. No one ever comments on it.
Yeah,
like,
they never talk about it. Like, oh shit, like maybe that was the wrong kind or something.
I think that it's kind of nailing it. Again, it's not my original idea. That some scenes got cut that might have explained that more.
Yeah.
Because even if we were just to assume that he understood how to do this, right? Like, you know, in the first thing we see is him doing it, there should have been some commentary of someone later that it didn't work.
Yeah, they didn't even yada yada it.
Right, yeah. It's like they cut out even the yada yadas. There were a couple little things like that, but none of that bothered me at all. In fact, very little in this movie bothered me, at least in the first whole half. And I was really pleased with meeting the characters. Mark, you mentioned like the opening shots of Detroit were so cool, giving you an idea of the area and their planning. When we see their first heist before they get to the blind man's home, Mark, you're the king of show me, don't tell me. And I love that, right? It's a great line. Well, they explain a lot of these characters' motivations through their actions in the opening heist scene, as opposed to telling us. Even though, they did the scene with Jane Levy and her little sister, like, you want to get out of here because mom is horrible and dad is basically a neo-Nazi scumbag, maybe rapist who maybe wants to have sex with me.
Not basically.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I promise, so I'm going to get you out of here. Okay, well, other than that, when they're doing the heist scene, everything is timed. One of them's counting seconds, and the other one is nervous and says, I think you're counting those seconds too slow. They're trying to steal stuff, and one of them says, make sure to keep it under this much money, otherwise it's grand larceny. The careful one, the concerned one. You see the guy with the cornrows who's basically Jared Leto from Panic Room. Like he's the wild card, just like Jared Leto in Panic Room. But that's not a negative criticism; it's just a comparison. But he's
the nice ones like
things
Forrest Whitaker.
over, while everyone else is searching for things of value. We learned a lot about their motivations in that scene without having anything explained. And most horror movies go the easy route and they explain it. Like we said with Evil Dead. Oh, you're my brother and I haven't seen you forever. Give me a hug.
Yeah, you're right. And I think he just learned a lot about that. She went through she wore like the nice clothes, Jane Levy, when they broke into the house. The other kid was being more careful. He was kind of wisely picking things. The other dude, like, it was good. It showed and it didn't tell.
Yeah, and she's fantasizing. I didn't even think about it until you just said it. She's fantasizing about her better life. Another person is economizing and choosing things to purchase it. And the third guy, he's just being a dipshit.
Yeah, like it's just like a good, but they're pretty good at what they do though. And so I don't know. It was great. And then just when I like it was set up really well. Set up really, really well.
I don't necessarily – I feel that I learned a lot about the characters' motivations, but I don't necessarily feel like I learned a whole lot about the characters to feel badly for them. But when things start to turn against them, I feel like the intensity of how things go wrong get me to feel for the characters instead. How do you feel about that?
I felt for the kids. Like that one guy was just sort of full of bluster, and like he was like begging for his life. That had me. Then at the end, that nice kid who went back for Jane Levy, when he was getting beat up, like that wrenched me because I don't know. I thought he was a good kid. And at the end, when he got shot, and Jane Levy was like, "I'm so sorry," because like he loved her,
yeah,
and like she apologized to him. I was like, "Oh man!" Like That took some self-awareness on her part.
Do you think he was dead?
And he was only there because of her.
Yeah.
Do you think he was dead because of the that hedge clipper scene? Like,
oh yeah,
that twist. Like, he ended up like the blind guy ended up stabbing like the other dead body and not the nice kid.
I swear to God, I think that scene was a product of the previous season of Walking Dead when everyone thought that
Glenn.
Steve Ewan was dead.
Yeah.
like that just that was cool. I didn't see that coming, and it got a little weird with the turkey baster.
Well, let's back that I want to talk about. Well, I don't want to talk about that, but I want to talk about that. Let's talk about when things started to go wrong. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
We back up. So they break into this blind guy's house. The blind guy, wakes up, and we mentioned that the guy, is begging for his life. The cornrowed Jared Leto asshole, and that's when we learn that things get intense. And I thought that was totally convincing. I thought that Stephen Lang, holy Jesus, nailed the crap out of the physicality, the movements, and the blindness, not that I know anything about it, of this role.
Yeah, and do you see the way he was holding his hands out when he was walking towards the guy with the gun?
Oh my God!
He was ready to
tingles.
do the catch the gun and turn it around. He couldn't see the dude, but he read him.
It was like a mix between having your hands up of readiness, but having your hands just open enough that it would widen your grip, but maybe look like, hold up, buddy, hold up, bud. It's like it was a strange thing. I don't know how deliberate that was, but. And then when he just ended him and his movements later, after they kill Money, that was the character's name. After they kill Cornrow's Money, and there's a noise from the other two walking around, his movement patterns were like an animal with the sensibilities of a human.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite scenes in kind of the beginning is when the nice kid comes back into the house after she's hiding in the closet after Money gets shot, and as the nice kid's walking down the hallway, Steve Lang just walks right by him really fast, and he just freezes against the wall, and he just walks right past him twice, and that was intense.
Even that walking, that walking down the hall that got me nervous in the preview. It got me nervous in the movie for a moment. It's just whoa, whoa, whoa. But I know from the preview that nothing happens right there.
Right.
But it's still unnerving. And then so that whole bit felt kind of like one movie, or we'll call it one, instead of three acting the movie, it felt like there were two concepts. And then the next concept kind of came up with what Mark was about to introduce.
Yeah, he has that. So his daughter was killed by another girl. We don't quite know what happens, but it's the other girl's fault, and she didn't go to jail. So somehow he managed to kidnap this girl and has her tied up in the basement. And it turns out that he artificially inseminated her, and she was going to have his kid because she took his kid. So she took his kid. Now she was going to have a kid that was his.
Yeah, she was going to replace the child he lost.
Yeah. And then she gets shot in the head, the girl that he had tied up, and then somehow he gets a hold of Jane Levy. The director told her before this movie, he was like, just be Bruce Willis. Because
he told who?
Jane Levy. Yeah, he's like, just be Bruce Willis. She's like, don't don't follow the constructs of these just think what other people. So her character went against a lot of what you would think this character would do, and so she just got the living daylights beat out of her like Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
She crawled through some air vents too, so yeah.
Yeah, she was crawling through vents, break into a blind man's house, they said, steal his thousands, they said.
I felt like that was also a bit of the echoing of Evil Dead influence. Getting into the guts of the house.
Yeah, and
in the really big basement, or so it felt big the way that they filmed it. Maybe it wasn't big at all.
Well, it's just Robert.
I was just gonna say, because we talked about the chloroform thing, and why that didn't work. The other thing was when he does go down there and the nice guy saves her when she's all tied up, and he handcuffs Stephen Lang to the wall or wherever. How does he get out of that too?
Yeah.
So that was just like a piece of cord, it seemed.
That's what
that
it looked
went
like.
Up through the floor and connected to that bell.
But like you think that they would
have knocked him out.
Yeah, like he's hitting him with a hammer. You think you knock him out, or you handcuff him to like an actual pole or a pipe or something like that. That way you can get out. And the fact is, he didn't open the door. Like he went up to the door and tried the keys before he went down there to save her.
Yeah,
but like,
you're right.
Why didn't he unlock everything?
Yeah, that was weird. I thought he unlocked all. So before he comes back in to save the girl, he gets the keys. I thought he unlocked all the locks.
I thought he was ready to go.
That was another thing that caught my eye, and that was one of the few things that I mentioned where I think that maybe there was a rush on the cutting room floor.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be a rushed editing job because it makes no sense.
Because that didn't quite feel right.
Yeah.
It felt
and
like
there
it
was
jumped back
one
and forth.
thing that I think they yada-yada'd. Or, I mean, they didn't yada-yada it, but I don't think that it was a fault of the cutting room floor. When they find this woman kept as a sexual reproductive prisoner in his basement, she has a clipping of the article that shows that she was kidnapped by him.
See, I sort of knew that. Like, I didn't need that clipping, I guess.
No. But let's ignore the fact that we knew that, even if we did.
Well, it was unnecessary.
How would she have ever gotten that?
I mean, he probably gave it to her.
He doesn't read the paper. He can't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe she went to his house
with the clipping.
With the clipping?
And kept it to
Maybe she went to apologize.
And to show him this clipping that he can't see?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I know it's really insensitive, but hold this in your hand. I'll read it for you.
But like, she just had that. She's been down there for months, and she just had that.
Oh wait, wasn't it missing? Wasn't it missing?
Yes, it said that she was missing. This is after she.
So then it would be
disappeared.
after. So then how? Maybe he brings her the newspaper so she has something to do.
Yeah.
Why is he even getting a newspaper?
See, if I was at a convenience store and he came by my new place buying newspapers every day, I'd be like,
something's up.
thumbs up.
Like,
There's no braille. There's no braille.
If you eliminate that, it doesn't have any effect on the movie. So why have it? I guess it was there for the people with a brain injury to know who it was.
I mean, there's like no
I
other
guess-
way, I guess, for them to explain it like quickly. I don't know.
You kind of have to have that, I guess, too, though.
But I mean, that was interesting. But like, so I don't want to talk in too much disgusting detail about the turkey baster. And obviously, I'd hope that anyone who's listened this far into the podcast has seen the movie, and therefore there's no worry about spoiling it or not going into detail. But did that seem maybe a little unnecessarily disgusting?
Yeah, like he ripped her pants.
I mean,
But you know what though?
Close up
didn't-
and
no,
everything.
the visualization of the turkey baster and the contents before.
Oh, they went into like slow motion of it too.
And dripping out.
There was a dripping, and there were hairs in it,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was just
Gross.
very. I mean, I appreciated it. I did. I'm just saying that for most people going to see that movie, holy Jesus, that was a lot. And then how he goes into the detail of, I'm not a rapist. It's like, I think the girls would disagree.
Yeah, you're shoving stuff up them. That's rape.
Like,
Yeah,
and that was.
it did have a great payoff
Oh my God!
Oh,
Yeah, when she jammed that thing
into his mouth.
Oh my God! Like this movie was. This was doing what Evil Dead did and trying to get us to say, "Oh my God," but maybe it was doing it in the less gratuitous blood way. But it was still very, "Oh my God!" Like I was sitting there looking at the dude who came to the movie next to me, like, dude, like I'm mouthing, like, "Oh my God!" Like looking at him, and of course he's thinking the same thing. I'm down here, by the way, in way South Texas, where 99% of the people are probably devout Catholics watching this.
No, actually, one of the best experiences I ever had watching a horror movie was in Texas, San Antonio. I saw a sold-out screening of Dawn of the Dead,
Oh, that's a winner.
and people went insane.
The 2004
I would.
one?
Yeah, in Texas. What?
The old one or the new one?
No, the new one.
Oh, okay.
Like, and people, it was sold out, and people just went, batshit for it.
Shit.
But yeah, so did anybody else think the dog in Don't Breathe looked like a Gomorrean guard?
Yeah.
A Gomorrean guard?
when you watch it again, be like, that dog's a Gamorrean guard.
Why? What's a Gamorrean?
Well, that like the that makes sense because remember the Gamorrean guard? He's the one that got eaten by the Rancor.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Gamora versus Gamora and leather pants when we had that list. Okay.
So is it like so he's a Gamorrean guard? Is that like I'm like Swedish? Am I a Swedish guard?
Probably.
Okay,
I guess.
Makes sense.
Unless, what else would you be? Just a guard?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you were in Sweden, you'd just be a guard.
Or you could call me my name, like Mark.
But that's Mark the guard.
Yeah.
The Swedish guard.
So what did you guys think about the final setup where we find out that the guy, we thought he died, and then they found him and somehow missed everything in the basement?
I knew he wasn't going to be dead. There was going to be something else because there's already kind of some twists and turns throughout the movie that I figured there was going to be something else. And the fact that she took the money and left, when I thought for sure, at first I thought like she was going to leave it because of the kid, like he died and shit. And she would maybe want this guy to get justice because he killed him, like the girl or the guy she was with. And instead she takes the money, and then I'm like, well, then there's got to be more to it. And then the fact that he's still alive and kicking, he takes a beating and shit too. Like, I mean, a hammer, everything.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I agree with superficially calling this a twist, but the thing is that because he's blind and such a shut-in, his surviving really holds no consequence to her if she, and we saw her at the train station, goes to California, 2,000 miles away. He's not going to look her up online. He's not going to find her. He's probably just going to go on his way and maybe even find someone new to impregnate and whatever.
I mean,
like, in other words, it's not like the movie where, oh my God, we killed the monster, but it was a female and it laid eggs, and that's the closing shot. Now there's more monsters. Like, the consequence doesn't follow her.
No. I don't think it'll follow her. I think it sets it up for a sequel to start off with a whole new set of characters that run into him somehow. But my whole thing
I'll
is,
agree with that, but I hope for Stephen Lang's sake that he doesn't.
No, I want a movie where she gets him.
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know. She has a daughter. I don't think she's going to do that.
I don't know much about like the procedure of law enforcement, but so when they find that guy,
That's what I'm saying.
She set off the alarm, right? The alarm went off, and he's unconscious. So the alarm went off, and he's unconscious. And right when they walk into the main room, they're within sight of that busted up door to the basement.
Yeah, how did they not find everything?
Nobody looked down there. And also on the side, there was something maybe that went on. I don't remember clearly if the storm doors were open or not. But either way, the door to that basement was busted open. Like, does no one go sweep the area and look around? It was an alarm. There could be someone in the house.
And he's
Wouldn't
unconscious.
They sweep the house and find a dead body?
And he fell into the basement, so they would obviously check that area. And the fact that the cop car pulls up right after she runs out. So the cop car is like there instantaneously. So the only thing that can explain it is Stephen Lang's character gets up, shuts the door, goes over to the front door and says, I was hurt, or there's a robbery or something like that. He tells them, and then they don't explore the basement.
He's barely conscious and taking oxygen when we last
But then, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it just doesn't make sense because they would check the basement because that's where he was unconscious. And not only that is they would have found like blood by that cellar door because he shot
in like the
that
turkey
girl.
baster, and they would have found those clippings. They wouldn't have found the girl because he put her under some sludge.
No,
That's right.
but they would have found the blood.
Body. You're right. I forgot that.
They would have found the blood. He shot her right outside the door when he opened the door before they were about to get out. They shot, so there would be blood.
But that wouldn't have been that day when they show the newsreel that we see at the end. That would have been later.
But that's weird. The cops must have been really terrible.
Yeah, really bad.
I think that maybe is a yada yada for us, and that's okay. I forgive it. Like I really enjoyed this movie. All the things that we're criticizing to our listeners, at least for me, like I had a very, very overwhelmingly positive experience with this movie.
It's a well-made movie.
Yeah, I liked
we're criticizing because criticizing is fun and shows how smart we are.
Yeah. I liked it. I think it is like an editing issue with some of the inconsistencies or like the things that just don't make sense, like how they went about that kind of stuff. But
I mean,
whatever.
there were a few weird things, but then there were the things that just nailed it again, like the opening scenes and the characters' investments. I thought the characters' fright was very good throughout the movie, and I thought the setups for the fright were very good. And I love Stephen Lang's movement. And when he was blind, feeling around in the basement, I totally believed that he felt around for things in that way 1,000 times in that basement.
Yeah, because they had that system set up.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment that he felt the fan, he just gave it that casual spin. It wasn't an accident. He was like, "Oh, there's the fan, little spin. I know where I am. Then I'm immediately going to reach up. Oh, there's that overhanging. What is it called? That cross beam. Like he knew his way around when he backed up into the darkness. Oh my God! Wait, guys." Are you not as happy as me that you did not hear the trailer line, "Now you'll see what I see"?
Yeah, he didn't say that, did he?
That wasn't in the movie. They only put that in the trailer, and I'm so glad it wasn't in the movie.
He and Buffalo Bill had a lot in common.
Yeah.
Well, Buffalo Bill ran his mouth a lot, though.
But they both turned off the lights. They hunted people in the dark. They had women kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he didn't wear skin, masks and make people wear lotion. He had a dog. They both had dogs.
Yeah.
Huh. It's like Wait Until Dark with Audrey Hepburn meets the end of Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like, Jane Levy, I really liked her again. I don't want her to just do horror, but I hope that she keeps doing smart horror roles. I hope she never falls into a trap. But, I mean, I hope that she turns into, like, Fede's go-to...
She probably will. His go-to girl.
I think he's in love with her.
Why is that?
Did you see how many shots of her face there were? Like, he frames her a lot.
But she's also our lead, though, really.
No, I don't think so. I understand that she's the lead, but the way he frames her a lot of times with the lighting... the shots, the lingering shots, the looks on her. Like there's some
like
really...
like Len Wiseman and Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, like Kate Beckinsale's her from Total Recall. And like you just like... there are movies where I do think the director or cinematographer really fall in love with like the actor or actress's face. Like I do think that is a thing. And in this, like I think he really like cause I think he did. I don't know if he loves her, but
not think, like an unhealthy like Hitchcock Tippi Hedren level.
I think I think he really just likes filming her. And I feel like that was evident in the movie.
Well, we'll have to see when he does a third movie and she's the star also.
It's just called Face?
Yeah, starring Jane Levy. Yep.
So, I mean, we've criticized some things and dissected some things, but I mean, did you actually have any complaints about the movie?
I didn't think about the clippings.
This isn't actually a complaint for me, by the way. It's just...
But you know what, though? When movies are really good and there are some mistakes with them, they're more evident. Like
Sure.
So I don't think we're really nitpicking. I think it's more like, you make something so strong and then you don't nail the landing.
If there was a big crack across the face of Michelangelo's David, it's all anyone would talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Like they'd be like, is there a booger in his nose?
I have one negative criticism. And we actually haven't talked about it.
Not enough cowbell?
No. Well, I mean, there is that, but that's just a criticism and not a negative criticism. No, like when she escapes the house and the dog chases her, and then we have this kind of Cujo reenactment in the car, and then after she overcomes all that and he just appears there and grabs her, I feel like I didn't need that whole scene.
Yeah, because they already established that he was going to be dragging her back to the house in the beginning. So
they did a good job of the scene, but it felt unnecessary.
I think they were thinking that line. She's like, "You're nothing out here," and then that dog comes running out. Like that was a pretty good little payoff.
I would have liked it if they I mean, well, I guess they sort of wanted it to be a surprise, but we've seen the opening scene of him dragging her, so we know he's going to get her.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's not a spoiler, and it doesn't cheapen it for him to take a couple steps from the front door, and then the dog runs instead of him standing at the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like when he's just standing at the door and the dog goes, we don't necessarily know what's going on. Let him start walking. Let us flash back and see that he's coming and that he hears and he stops for a moment to hear that it's there instead of just appearing like Jason, and maybe it would be staged well. But and again, I'm criticizing a scene that by itself I thought worked. I just didn't feel like it fit so snugly in the whole film. And otherwise, again, yeah, like I think you nailed it right though, Mark. Like a flaw is a little more evident when something overall is of such greater quality. I thought this was really great. I think this has been a great year for horror.
And I'm also thinking like, I don't think I'd want to see him walking outside too much, because like him stumbling around would sort of wreck his aura. Like, in Michael Halloween H2O, where he drives cross country to go find Jamie Lee Curtis, like, I don't want to see that. Like, yeah. I don't want to see Michael Myers filling up with gas. Like, I don't want to see him eating a Twix bar. Like, so I guess just making him show up like the boogeyman is the best way to avoid keeping.
Bennett's strategy, though, I mean, you could have had the dog run and start barking, and then while the dog is still in screen, have him turn his head in the direction of the dog and take the first 2 steps down his steps before he has to start searching for things.
He could have ridden the dog.
He could have ridden the dog. Like
a jet ski.
Kevin Pollak rode that eagle in Willow.
Yeah.
And then he could have fallen into a giant barrel of beer and emerged like an Olympian diver drunk.
Ooh.
But no, I love this movie. I do. And I felt like I loved it more than I could have ever expected to have enjoyed this. This really knocked me back. I hope no one, if anyone listened who hasn't seen it, do not think that this plays out like a home invasion movie, because it doesn't.
It's not your typical one.
Robert?
Yeah, it's not your typical one. I mean, I liked it a lot. I'm not a big, like, a lot of newer horror movies don't do it for me, but this one was genuinely creepy, and even though I nitpicked, like, some of the aspects of the movie, I do think some of those were just poor editing and not necessarily like anything that the director or even really the cast overlooked. I think it was just kind of messed up in the editing bay. But regardless, it was small stuff that like it still didn't take away from the overall experience. So I still liked it. I thought it was good. I liked it. I wasn't a big fan of Evil Dead, but I liked this one a lot.
Yeah. Do you mean you weren't a fan of the original, the remake, or any of them?
Honestly, the remake, I wasn't like, it was decent. I saw it only one time. It's not my movie. Like, it's not a movie that I would watch again. And as for the original Evil Dead movies, I liked the first one, like the original Evil Dead. Not a fan of 2 or Army of Darkness, and I know those are like the cult favorites, but no,
because they're more slapsticky, maybe.
They are. They're more goofy, which I don't mind that. It's just for some reason when I saw them. And it was back in high school, but I don't know. For some reason, the first one was more creepier, and I think I liked that more than the slapstick. I don't know, but that's just me. Yeah. So I like this movie. I liked Don't Breathe.
I mean, if he continues to show his evolution as a filmmaker, the leaps and bounds he made from Evil Dead into this movie, I'm stoked to see his third film.
Do you guys think? Oh, and I agree with that. By the way, I'm stoked to see whatever the hell he does next. Even if it's a romantic comedy.
Don't sneeze.
Yeah.
Don't sneeze.
Don't cry.
But don't say a word.
There you go.
Well, that is another one. Oh.
Or no, don't say anything. Or no, say anything versus don't say a word. Never mind.
Don't say a word.
I'm mixing John Cusack with Brittany Murphy.
I didn't watch no Michael Douglas.
That happens more often than you think.
Do you guys think now? This is an interesting off-topic sort of tangent. Do you think that the badassness and seriousness of this role will help Stephen Lang with his internet campaign to be Cable in the next Deadpool?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So I was just in Chicago. I worked the Chicago Comic-Con, and during that time was the Bruce Campbell Film Fest. and they screened this movie, and I couldn't watch any of them, but like there was a big film festival. But they did a quick signing, and Stephen Lang walked by me.
Oh, he was there. He was a guest.
Yeah, and he is a little human.
He's 5'10.5".
No,
he's 5 foot. Look, he's 5'10.5". I looked it up on 3 websites.
Oh, so he walked. That's right. I guess what
You're
I saw.
6'4", though.
I guess what I saw is wrong.
You're a really big guy.
He is not a big guy. He is not. And Ryan Reynolds is 6'12".
Yeah,
because John read that on the internet. But I just don't. I mean, I know you can fake it, but he's just little. He's little, and I know in Avatar they made it work, and I don't know. What do I know? Like, I don't know. He's just when he walks by me.
In Avatar, it doesn't matter though, too, because in Avatar he's against a 10-footer, so it doesn't matter. When
he walked by me, I was like, "That's not Cable." But I mean, weirder things have happened. But I don't know. I think they're narrowing it down. I think they have somebody that they want. Oh, Kyle Chandler they were talking about, which is
who's that?
Really?
The coach from Friday Night Lights. And
he's in Super 8.
The cop from Bloodline.
In Super 8, and he's in King Kong.
Bloodline. Jonathan?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's so unbuilt.
Yeah, but he used to be. I think for that role, he just sort of enjoyed.
So they're going to puff him back up?
Yeah, like they're looking at him.
I like Kyle Chandler as an actor.
I think he's got the right facial look. I just got to see him inflate.
And doesn't Cable have like one eye?
He's got one. Yeah, one eye kind of glows. He's cybernetic largely. He's got one cybernetic arm and pec, and like part of his eye.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a rumor. But I don't know. I like Lang, but I just don't see it. I think they're going for I don't know. So that's my answer.
Yeah.
But I mean, they cast Tom Cruise as well. I mean, Tom Cruise cast himself as Jack Reacher. Like no one cast Tom Cruise in, hey, I'm doing this movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 and we want to cast Tom Cruise. Like it doesn't work like that.
Nope.
But,
all right, well, you guys have anything else you want to say before we take off?
I think Jane Levy should be Cable.
I think she'd play a great Cable. Get the petition going.
Yeah, she should. Starting it now.
All right, well, let's move on. Do you want to plug anything before we take off?
Just you, Robert.
All righty. That sounds sexual, and I kind of like it. But
wait, no. I've got a turkey baster right here.
Yeah, Shark Dropper, guys. Go to Shark Dropper. I know if you listen to our show, but Shark Dropper has a plethora of good stuff. Robert just recorded a new podcast where he goes to like furniture warehouses, and he just criticizes the couches.
Right. It's really good. It's called
I hate couches.
Yeah, I don't even have a. It's called couch surfing, and basically, I just go around and I stand on the. I literally stand on the couches and I surf and I criticize them.
Yeah. So if a wave came in now, like on the Evil Dead movie, could I surf this couch?
Right. And then we also have like a little segment that actually you joined, Mark, called Jet Ski Talk. And it's just a 5-minute every episode pops in. You talk about jet skis and your hatred or love. It's a love-hate thing.
And you have to shut it off in 5 minutes because
I cut you off.
Hours,
I cut you off at 5 minutes. And if you keep going, none of it's getting recorded.
And you didn't tell me once. Mm-hmm. And I ended up talking for 6 hours.
Oh, yeah. I went to bed. I didn't even know you were still going.
I was crying. Mm-hmm. I was emotional. I went through a real ringer.
Yeah, I meant to ask
Mark
you,
just
like,
looks at the screen and sees that the Skype call ended a while ago.
Yeah.
I did some of my best stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, I kept going for an hour and just sort of like because I had a lot in me.
Well, you got it out, and we'll release more episodes, and you guys can check that out. Couch surfing with Mark and Jet Ski Talk, and It's up there on Shark Dropper. Not yet, but it'll be up there soon.
Yeah, go to the front page of iTunes.
Yeah, it's new and noteworthy.
It's
number
just
one.
That.
It's right above Comedy Bang Bang and WTF.
Yeah, and I mean, we just beat NPR.
Yep, it's above Chicago Public Media.
They actually took a ton of flack because they tried to do a Wave Runner sequence, jet ski sequence, and like NPR just got bombed.
Yeah. Well, you can't take our idea.
No, they tried.
They tried. Good try.
Failed. Yeah.
Yeah. Try and fail. All right. Well,
NPR.
I guess that does it for this episode of MFF. I'm going to untie John now. He's been I'm proud of him. He's sitting quietly over there, just
tied up in the basement with a news clipping of his disappearance.
His pants are ripped open, and I'm going to turkey baste him, and then we're just going to...
Mark and I walk in, and he's just pointing to this article, but for some reason, he can't pull down the thing that's covering his mouth.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
To explain it.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that, did we? Anyway, all right. Well, I've been your host, Robert. Thanks for joining Mark and John. And that does it for this episode. And we'll be back next week.
Jet ski talk.
Target. T-minus 5 seconds till shark drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the shark! Go! 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 This podcast is a Shark Dropper Studios production.